Hello and welcome to English Lane, the place where stories of the world's greatest leaders become your classroom for English learning. If you have ever struggled with English listening, or if you want to improve your pronunciation naturally, then you are in the right place. Here, every story is told in clear English, step by step, so you can practice, learn, and be inspired at the same time. In today's special episode, we will take you on a journey through the extraordinary life of Abraham Lincoln, the humble boy who grew up in poverty, taught himself to read and write, and rose to become the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln was not just a political leader. He was a symbol of hope, freedom, and perseverance. He led his country through the Civil War and became the man who ended slavery forever. This story will not only help you practice English listening and pronunciation, but it will also inspire you with timeless lessons of courage, determination, and leadership. So, get ready to sit back, listen carefully, and let the life of Abraham Lincoln guide both your English learning journey and your personal growth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Abraham Lincoln's life is a story of courage, honesty, and resilience. Born into poverty, he faced hardships that would have crushed many, yet he rose to lead a nation divided by war. His decisions, his words, and his vision continue to inspire millions around the world. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a small log cabin in Hardin County, Kentucky. His parents, Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Hanks Lincoln, were poor farmers. The family struggled daily to survive. Tragedy struck when Lincoln's mother died of milk sickness when he was only 9. Later, his father remarried Sarah Bush Johnson, who became a nurturing stepmother and encouraged young Abraham's love for learning.
Lincoln grew up in the frontier, where every day demanded hard work, farming, chopping wood, and hunting. Despite scarce resources, Lincoln developed a deep love for reading. With almost no formal education, he taught himself to read and write using borrowed books, studying late into the night by firelight. His hunger for knowledge became the foundation of his future greatness. Tall, strong, and honest, Lincoln was admired by his neighbors. Known as Honest Abe, he would walk miles to return money he accidentally overcharged. His storytelling ability entertained and taught life lessons. These qualities, honesty, humor, and fairness, shaped him into a man of integrity, respected by all who knew him. As a young man, Lincoln worked as a flatboatman on the Mississippi River. He witnessed the horrors of slavery firsthand, seeing human beings treated as property. This experience left a permanent mark, shaping his lifelong opposition to slavery and his desire for freedom and justice.
Lincoln settled in New Salem, Illinois, where he worked at a store and became well-liked for his honesty and humor. In 1832, he ran for the Illinois state legislature but lost. Undeterred, he studied law independently, eventually becoming a successful lawyer in Springfield. His legal career earned him respect for fairness and clarity and connected him with ordinary citizens. In 1842, Lincoln married Mary Todd, a well-educated woman from a wealthy Kentucky family. Their marriage had joys and challenges. They had 4 sons, Robert, Edward, Willie, and Tad. Tragically, only Robert survived to adulthood.
These personal losses deepened Lincoln's empathy and strengthened his character as a compassionate leader.
Lincoln entered the U.S. House of Representatives in 1847. He opposed the Mexican-American War, an unpopular stance at the time. After leaving Congress, he returned to law. When the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854 threatened to expand slavery, Lincoln re-entered politics, speaking out with eloquence and moral clarity. His reputation grew nationally.
In 1858, Lincoln challenged Senator Stephen A. Douglas. Their debates on slavery became legendary. Lincoln argued slavery was morally wrong, while Douglas supported popular sovereignty. Though Lincoln lost the Senate race, his speeches gained national attention, paving the way for his presidential campaign. In 1860, Lincoln was nominated as the Republican candidate for president. His honesty and strong anti-slavery stance won him the election, alarming Southern states. Fearful of losing slavery, many seceded, forming the Confederate States of America. When Lincoln assumed office in March 1861, the nation was on the brink of war. Confederate forces attacked Fort Sumter, starting the Civil War. Lincoln's priority was preserving the Union, even as families and communities were torn apart. Lincoln struggled with ineffective generals and political opposition, yet he remained patient and determined. He studied strategy, visited battlefields, and inspired soldiers and citizens. His leadership was defined by calm wisdom, empathy, and unwavering commitment to justice.
On January 1, 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring all slaves in Confederate states free. Though it did not immediately end slavery nationwide, it transformed the war into a fight for freedom and allowed African Americans to join the Union Army, strengthening the cause of liberty. Lincoln's speeches are timeless. At Gettysburg, he honored fallen soldiers and emphasized equality and democracy. In his second inaugural address, he called for healing and reconciliation, with malice toward none, with charity for all. His words continue to inspire leaders worldwide.
The war was devastating. Lincoln faced political attacks, personal grief, including the death of his son Willie, and national despair. Yet he persevered, guided by his vision for a united, free America. His resilience became an example of moral courage for generations. By 1865, the Union Army was winning. General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse, ending the Civil War. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery. Lincoln's vision of a free and united nation was realized, changing the course of American history forever. Tragically, on April 14, 1865, Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater. He died the next morning. The nation mourned the loss of a leader who had saved a country and freed millions. Millions of Americans wept for Honest Abe, the man who gave hope to the oppressed.
Lincoln's legacy is eternal. He preserved the Union, ended slavery, and set an example of honesty, humility, and compassion. His life shows that greatness can come from the humblest beginnings and that courage and integrity can change the world. Lincoln battled melancholy and depression throughout his life. Friends described him as thoughtful, serious, and often sad. But his struggles gave him deep empathy for others. They made him a more understanding leader, one who could feel the suffering of ordinary people. Lincoln loved his children deeply. He played games with them, told stories, and nurtured them. The death of his son Willie during the war brought immense grief. His role as a father revealed a gentle, loving side, adding depth to his character as a human being and leader.
Lincoln's cabinet included men who were once his rivals, yet he united them with wisdom, listening to their ideas and guiding them toward common goals. His ability to lead diverse personalities demonstrated his intelligence, humility, and strategic thinking. Lincoln never forgot his roots. He visited soldiers, farmers, and ordinary citizens. People admired him for his humility, humor, and honesty. He remained one of them, connecting with people in a way few leaders could. Around the world, Lincoln was celebrated. In Europe, he was praised as a defender of democracy. Abolitionists everywhere saw him as a hero. His leadership inspired freedom movements globally, making him a symbol of justice and moral courage.
Lincoln has inspired countless books, films, and artworks. The Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. honors his legacy. His tall figure, stovepipe hat, and thoughtful demeanor are remembered as symbols of honesty, leadership, and perseverance. Lincoln's vision of unity, freedom, and equality continues to guide the world. His belief in government of the people, by the people, for the people remains a beacon of democracy. His life teaches us that honesty, courage, and compassion can change history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Abraham Lincoln's life. His story teaches lessons of honesty, courage, and determination. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue improving your English while learning history, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to English Lane.